The dollar in Canada, if you want to use CBC, a type of digital cash, you can. That job would be done by the Federal Reserve, which would also back and control it. And the U.S. government would fully back it instead of using the present payment methods. This could be used instead, and it would have benefits like speedy payment settlement, the ability to help more people get access to money, and the ability to make trades across countries. Over 130 countries are looking into the idea of setting up their own digital coins and bills that the government backs up. China, Russia, Saudi Arabia, and India have already started the first steps of their tests. It's possible that a test with a digital euro could start as early as 2028. Even though this is happening, the United States is still a long way behind. That being said, these words belong to the Congress of the United States of America. Even though more and more details about digital cash are available right now, it is clear to see in the United States that the Congress of the United States has given its permission for XRP to be used. This isn't just for banks and investment businesses. Anyone can have it. XRP can be used for deals both inside and outside of the United States. This idea is best shown by the Federal Reserve of the United States. Should you know this? Congress in the U.S. is aware of how things are changing around the world. Many countries like Brazil, India, China, and others are getting help from Ripple to set up their own digital currencies. Those countries' central banks will print their own coins. The U.S. doesn't want to be behind on this change. Also, do you know what company they are working with? Ripple, you're right. If you want to know anything about XRP, this is the place to be. That being said, welcome back. In the same way that the BRICS countries work together, Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa have made a digital currency that all 5 countries can use. The United States is going in the same direction. Allow me to show you a movie that shows how Ripple and the Federal Reserve of the United States talked about CBDCs all the way back in 2015. Although Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission are in a public disagreement, this historical background shows that the U.S. and Ripple have been working together behind the scenes. Because of this partnership, there was a good chance that Ripple would win the SEC case. Still fresh in your mind how Ripple was able to persuade the Federal Reserve will go along with the FedNAB way of payment. The Federal Reserve did not give Ripple direct credit at the time that the method was made public. In any case, there are signs that they did. There have been talks between the Federal Reserve and a blockchain startup about working together. This could make it easier and faster to make payments, with transactions taking only 3 to 5 seconds to finish. It's been a while since Gary Gensler talked about what the Federal Reserve of the United States could do with Ripple. Gensler had faith in the Federal Reserve even before he was chosen president. The Federal Reserve had already added XRP and Ripple to their payment system for both domestic and international transactions. Gensler still had faith in the Federal Reserve. At this point, the SEC was taking civil action against Ripple. Let's talk about things that are happening now, shall we? It is now possible for Riverbank to use the FedNet transaction network. Riverbank, which is a well-known Ripple payment partner, uses the app Ripplet to handle transfers. Let's break this down together. This is not just a bank. There are services on Ripplet called XCurrent and XRapid that are used by this payment provider. XRP and its record are used by both of these services to make money available when it's needed. Since Riverbank is now a part of FedNet, it's clear that XRapid, XCurrent, and Ripplet, all of which are based on XRP, will all be important in the future. Because of this, the FedNet payment system is ready to use XRP to meet its liquidity needs for deals that start in other countries. And because of this, we may. A lot of people think that XRP will become more valuable as its uses and benefits grow. If you own XRP and are watching this is news that will help your stock. The fact that XRP is now used in regular banking systems is more than just a sign of how useful the coin could be in the future. This shows how quickly things are changing in the world of foreign business. Once traditional banks learn how quickly, easily, and cheaply blockchain technologies like Ripple's can be used, things will never be the same again. Furthermore, Gary Gensler's unwavering backing and the actions taken by banks like Riverbank afterward are just the tip of the iceberg. As more companies learn about and use XRP and other similar technologies, they will have an effect on the whole financial sector. I'd like to share some very good news with my viewers before I go any further. I can work out a deal for XRP. To join the group, just do these 3 easy things. Thanks for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up, click the subscribe button, turn on alerts, and share it with your friends and family. In the event that we pick the lucky winner, I will make sure that these steps are taken. We hope everything goes well for everyone. Our winner will be made public as soon as we reach 60,000 people. Let's go back to the subject at hand before we move on. How much XRP is worth and how important the system is becoming. It has been talked about that the Federal Reserve of the United States is interested in it, and that most people in the United States want to use it. In contrast, people in countries other than the US are starting to see how useful XRP could be to them. A lot of countries, like the B, are ICS nations, and even the EU with its digital euro project are looking into what it could mean for the future. These are the films we made about these topics. They go into more detail about how XRP is being used in the digital euro project in Europe, and the CBDC in the B are ICS countries, in order to go over our main point again. The US isn't just interested in XRP as a possible CBDC, as we talked about in a different video. They also want to use it to speed up trade between countries. This is true for all banking transactions, not just CBDCs. It doesn't matter if they happen in the United States or another country. First, let us look at what this means for the future value of XRP. The value of XRP will change as more people use it, especially big banking institutions like the Federal Reserve in the US. To sum up the value of a coin is mostly based on how many ways it can be used. A digital asset like XRP is added to big financial systems. The benefits it brings to transactions are not the only thing that stands out right away. One more thing to think about is how it builds trust and faith over time. Around the world, the banking system is changing very quickly. Using electronics to buy things is becoming more common, and people want to be able to quickly and cheaply send money across foreign borders. This is the case. The role of cryptocurrencies is very important, especially ones that have been used before, like XRP. As long as important countries and financial organizations back XRP, it could be the thing that sets it apart from other cryptocurrencies. The time we are in now is very important for both companies and people. With all of its support and links, XRP is currently moving in a way that suggests it will have a bright future. But it's important to stay up to date. Just like with any other kind of business, taking care, keep an eye on how things are changing and go through a lot of study before making decisions. Is it possible that XRP will hit $10,000? In the field of cryptography, this question has been getting a lot of attention. We're going to get to it right away. It's important to remember that global companies, especially those based in North America,